We followed the southern route on US 550 over Red Mountain Pass into Ouray. This road is one of Colorado's most spectacular, and it gives access to a number of excellent ice climbs. Not far above Ouray, we pulled over at Bear Creek Falls and got out to watch a party across the canyon climbing the moderate classic Horsetail Falls. I took the opportunity to point out the obvious potential avalanche hazard, which is all too common on gully climbs of this nature in the high mountains. It's extremely important to avoid such routes during or immediately following storms or at other times of instability. Often, only the local experts will have a good handle on current conditions, but it's every ice climber's responsibility to become educated about avalanche phenomena.
Nice, huh? We'll climb those.
Wow.
From Bear Creek, we drove straight to the newly christened Ouray Ice Park in the Uncompahgre Gorge on the edge of town. Here, leaks in an old water pipe have been enlarged and augmented with the addition of purposely installed spigots to create a unique and extensive practice area with climbs of all levels of difficulty.
Wow, I see. Yeah.
That way, and they continue to punch more holes in the pipeline to make more climbs, which is kind of neat.
From the bridge, I pointed out to Bird the area known as the schoolroom, which is where we would begin climbing the next day.
Pretty impressive looking down here.
Definitely.
To improve footwork and increase awareness of the configuration and quality of the ice, we spent some time climbing without hand tools on a steep top-roped pitch. I've always found this to be an enjoyable and eye-opening exercise, where all free rock climbing techniques come into play.
When slightly damp, wool gloves freeze to the ice, increasing your grip like a super version of rock climber's chalk. The real benefit of this exercise is that it forces you to climb in delicate balance over your front points. And since you're forced to kick your crampons in gently, you'll find yourself looking for any small holds the ice may provide. And this is how you should always climb.
It's neat to know that all the moves could be done, you know?
Bird's natural finesse was evident, and I think she preferred to climb without the awkward tools in her hands.
Efficient front pointing requires that you keep your heels low to avoid the chance of shearing your points through the ice.
Okay. Heels down. Solid. Right. Heels up.
Many times you must perform a confident hop switch to maintain balance over your points. When climbing small diameter pillars, you must keep your front points perpendicular to the surface of the ice. To do this, place your crampons pigeon-toed into the ice.
So we'll do the basic technique for vertical ice is the monkey hang. So I'm loosening one tool, choosing where I'm going to place it. I'll stand up, remove it, place it, immediately hang. Feet high again. Choose my next placement. Loosen this tool, stand up, immediately hang. So I can go on all day like this. Well, not really all day, but okay, good. You forgot to
That
get
was
the...
a key element. I didn't unloosen my tool.
That's right.
There we go.
There you go. Right,
Stand
perfect.
up.
That's a good lesson.
Oh,
Oops.
sorry. There.
Good. Now you can start moving your feet up to about the same level with each other.
Woo.
Whoop.
Aye, aye. That was good. Good thing I had this helmet on.
Just lift it up and out of that hole. Push up on the bottom of the shaft. It should come right up. Yeah.
Ooh. Poor aim.
Ice screws can be placed one-handed, especially the new ultra-sharp stainless steel or chromoly versions with very aggressive cutting teeth. Particularly on the lead, tapping out a deep, narrow starting hole with your pick will make placement easier and keep surface fracturing to a minimum. Make the hole as deep as possible while maintaining a diameter that is slightly less than that of the screw or piton. A properly placed screw or piton in good ice will stand any force you are likely to subject it to.
Clip into your second ice axe if you want protection as you place the screw. To place a drive-in tube piton, you'll also want to make a good starting hole. In hard ice, you can place a piton or screw with a 10-degree upward tilt to the surface of the ice. While on rotten ice, you'll want to cut a step and make the placement at a 90-degree angle down at the back of the step. Pound-in pitons tend to fracture the ice. Be sure to remove any suspect surface ice before pounding the piton the rest of the way in. It's a very good idea to use a top rope to practice placing screws or pitons before you try it on the lead.
Hanging by a fifi hook or cliff hanger attached to a daisy chain and your harness and hooked into the hole in the spike of your tool is a simple aid technique for freeing your hands to place protection. This technique is considered A0. I've been using a clean anchor technique called a V-thread since the late 70s, primarily for rappelling to avoid having to leave screws or sections of conduit.
I do a little starting hole for my screw just to preserve the surface of the ice so we don't damage that. Now if you've got two screws, once you've placed the first screw, you can back this out a ways and leave it in there so you can sight on that for your next placement. Since I only have one screw with me right here, I either have to just visualize it, which you can do, or I've got my little wire coat hanger thread, so I'm going to slip into the hole to give me a little idea of where that is going to need to be placed to intersect. So I'm going to take that, just kind of slip that in there a little bit and try and get my angle going from that. About 6 inches away, I've got kind of a choice there that is awkward. I'm going to go ahead and use that depression, even though it's slightly closer than I want to be. It'll still work okay.
Is that screw level with the other hole?
Yeah, pretty much level, although I chose a depression that's about 1/2 inch lower than that, but normally you want to be about level.
All right.
Okay. So now I know that screw, that previous screw is back in there, the point of it. So I'm going to try and intersect that with this one. Maybe I just hit the hole there. I felt like I hit a little air pocket. We'll see when I take that out. Didn't sight that carefully enough, but we'll see. Yeah, it's there. Good. Okay, anyway, you can leave that wire in to give you a sight for the second screw placement if you don't have two screws. And as you see, if you look in this other hole, you can see that we've connected in there. You'll take a can be a one-piece runner, or it can be a sewn sling. You tuck it in one side with your hook, and then you reach through from the other side. And the idea is, with the hook, you reach through and then turn the hook to hook the sling. And if you do it right, it usually will grab the sling. So this makes a good, strong anchor here. This one would probably hold about 2,000 to 3,000 pounds in this good, strong ice. The ice is brittle, but when it's untouched like this, when it's unaffected by any pressure line, it's incredibly strong. So that makes a very good, strong either anchor for rappelling or belaying, or even a running belay on the lead if you're running short of screws.
Tubular Bells was the name we gave our first climb in the Uncompahgre Gorge. We broke it into two short, distinctive pitches. The first pitch consisted of a mixture of natural handholds and hooking on cauliflowers.
These are cauliflowers here, and you can hook the tops of them better than trying to plant your tools, yeah. Okay, I'll place a screw here. That's some of the ice lenses I told you about. Ice lensing there. I'll go ahead and tie off one of these things. Okay, climbing again. Okay, I've got another one of those ice lenses that I talked with you about. So watch out, some stuff could come down. Yeah, we'll belay here.
On a good ledge between two pillars, I set up a belay. With the pick of my ice tool, I made a good starting hole for an ice screw. Then I placed a screw about 5 or 10 degrees beyond perpendicular to the surface of the ice, and continued turning it until the eye was flush to the surface.
I'm off belay, bird. Just get one more screw in here for the belay.
I placed a second screw 2 feet above the first and clipped a double-length runner into both. I tied myself into a carabiner which I had clipped into a twist in the runner in such a way as to equalize the force on the screws. I backed up the belay with my tools and clipped the rope to Bird through the upper anchor. If we had been swinging leads, this would have been Bird's first point of protection as she passed me and began her pitch. When Bird followed, she used more natural handholds than I had, and this, I had observed, was a style she was rapidly developing.
Handhold. So as long as it doesn't break. Whoa.
On a top rope, this seemed a good way for her to conserve energy.
A little precarious here.
But on the lead, pushing the use of natural holds too far can sometimes be more precarious than using the tools.
I'm feeling a little apprehensive pulling on these things.
Yeah, it's pretty thin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having fun?
Yeah. Man, this is way out here.
This pitch was an excellent introduction to WI 5- climbing.
It's so fragile.
Yeah.
Oof. Ah. Oh. Trying to relax.
Yeah.
That was awkward. Okay, you're facing to the right, Okay.
Okay.
Relax.
Yeah. Good.
Little backstepping there.
Good. Yeah. No,
Uh-huh.
but it's kind of beautiful and surreal and spooky.
And spooky.
Climbing.
Climb.
Pretty hollow up here, but I think it's okay, Bird. I'll go take a look at it.
All right.
It'll be fun if it's good.
On the next lead, I took the steepest line on the pillar, using a modified monkey hang technique on the WI 5+ or 6- crux.
There we go. I'm going to have to go up. I have to hook my pick there. Maybe I can sit on that. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I need to stand up and place the screw rather than try and place it from here.
I waited until I could stand on a basketball-sized lump of ice to place a runner around a small natural column and back that up with a drive-in tube piton.
Get a little runner here anyway. That'll be a start. Little sling. Okay. I think it's better than nothing. Get a drive in right here, I think. This is a nice little pedestal I'm standing on, huh?
That is.
Little ledge. Okay, purple. I think between those two I'm okay.
This is definitely amazing.
Ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's better than nothing. Get a drive in right here, I think. This is a nice little pedestal I'm standing on, huh?
That is.
Little ledge. Okay, purple. I think between those two I'm okay.
This is definitely amazing.
Ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Thus, well protected, I walked my feet high in an L position, which allowed me to clear the bulge at the top of the pillar in a secure and controlled manner.
Nice move, Jeff.
Okay, Bird, I'm up.
Okay.
You're on belay, Bird.
Okay, I need to take the anchor out.
Bird found the climbing very strenuous, with few opportunities for natural handholds, and especially chopping the piton most of the way out used a good portion of her reserves. From this point on, she would call tube pitons the dreaded drive-ins. Even so, she shook out and successfully climbed to the top.
Okay, Bird, good job. Classic cauliflowered ice here. Half hook and a little set to the placement, and it kind of makes it stable, you know? Halfway hook and halfway place it. Okay, it's very chandeliered here, so the issue will be to get decent protection, you know?
Okay.
The next day, we delved deep into the Gothic terrain of a 150-foot-high, mineralized golden labyrinth of chandelier-hung mushrooms draped from a huge rock cave and supported by a pillar of poorly welded pencil icicles, which required smooth climbing to avoid slicing the picks through.
It's just full of air pockets.
Oh,
The screws won't be real good,
okay.
so we'll put more than normal in.
Crampon holds could be fashioned by kicking the entire toe into the friable surface, making an untrustworthy step. Protection on this 50-foot WI6 section was psychological only.
I'll get another screw in. 2 screws, one here and one up here.
A second, more substantial pillar led up into the overhangs. Although a fracture line bisected the base, I arranged good protection from screws to begin, and the climbing was steep, but psychologically less demanding.
Clip.
After 20 or 30 feet, I was able to get a shoulder scum back against one of the huge icicles, which allowed me to rest and place another screw in preparation for the crux section through the upper roofs.
You're looking good, Jeff.
It's really super climbing. It's really fun.
Good.
I'll take a little rest right here. From here I'll traverse over into, stem over into the start of the kind of groove through the upper roofs.
All right.
More Class 6 climbing led up into tight pick and crampon placements in a Bombay chimney.
Okay, that was awkward. Oops. Okay,
All right.
clipped. It's a good bomber screw, so
Okay.
we're safe now.
All right.
Above the chimney, 30 feet of hooking led up lower angle cauliflowered ice to the top of the formation.
Okay, Bird, I'm up.
On the initial fragile pillar, Bird was surprised by how nebulous pick and crampon placements can be in a mass that looks solid from a distance.
Whew. Man, is this ever delicate? This is amazing. How about that? Come on.
Her customary light step was inadequate in these conditions. From my position, I could faintly hear Bird's self-encouragement as she dealt with the strange medium. She coached herself through the difficulties, remaining calm and focused as she took in new sensations and learned. In fragile, chandeliered, overhanging terrain like this, an open-minded exploratory attitude is required. Careful, calculated, deliberate climbing, questioning every section of ice, and anticipating the effect of climbing on it, whether it will collapse or support your ascent, is the only approach that offers you the hope of consistent success and a long life.
Oh, yay! Watch me!
Gotcha.
Yes!
Bird was forced to focus extra attention on getting adequate pick placements in the confined space of the narrow overhanging slot.
Oh my god! Whoa. Yes! Little gravelly up here, eh, Jeff?
My
Excuse
foot.
me.
Feel a toe. Good job. That's okay. You're good. Excellent.
Our next climb was a new route we called Birdcage, in honor of my student. We avoided a possible easier start and began by doing a strenuous diagonal traverse at the lip of an overhang 15 feet above the ground.
Sorry.
The ice forced me to front point on icicles below the rock roof and make a series of diagonal crossover pick placements. Until I could finally stand up and